Today, we are reminded of the principle of loyalty. And these are stories that define us, not as abstract political narratives. They are living testimonies of ordinary Ghanaians who chose principles and conviction over convenience. These stories remind us why loyalty to our cause transcends momentary dissatisfaction. And let me tell you about the true costs of the principles we claim to cherish. And let me make it personal, because these principles were forged in the furnace of my own family suffering. First was my mother, a dedicated pupil teacher. She lost her livelihood because she refused to bend the knee to the 31st December Women's Movement, and as a result, she was redeployed, a weapon that they used. And she stood firm because her husband was part of this great tradition. She could have joined the 31st December Women's Movement and saved her career, but she chose loyalty to her convictions over the security of her salary. My stepfather, a hard-working mason foreman at Pomase Pottery Enterprise in Winneba, found himself demoted and transferred to Ankafo Warehouse after the 1996 elections. Not for incompetence, not for any professional failing, but for the crime of wearing his NPP allegiance openly. His expertise, his years of dedicated service, his proven competence, all rendered worthless by political vindictiveness. And my own dad, a civil servant at the Ministry of Agriculture's Mechanization Division, became a casualty of his own courage for daring to challenge the junta's excesses. He was not merely dismissed, he was forced into exile in La Côte d'Ivoire when an opportunity arose for him to serve at the UN in Geneva. The very ministry that had cast him out refused to release his clearance letter. A 39-year-old man in his prime was forced into retirement, his expertise wasted, his family shattered, his dreams destroyed by the very petty vindictiveness of those who could not tolerate dissent. But let me tell you what this meant for a young boy trying to make sense of the world where principle came at such a crashing cost. The economic turmoil that followed these acts of political persecution nearly destroyed my education. School fees became mountains too high for a broken family to climb. As my parents struggled, my mother without her teaching post, my stepfather demoted to menial work, my father in exile, my educational future hung by the thinnest of threads. It was only through the bursary I won from Dr. Papa Kwesindo that my educational path was salvaged from the wreckage of political vindictiveness. But how many brilliant young minds were we able to save? How many dreams did we allow to die in the darkness of political persecution? How many children of MPP families saw their future sacrificed on the altar of their parents' principles? This is what loyalty came at a cost to my family. This is what standing for the MPP meant in practical terms. Not just political rhetoric, but empty plates, unpaid school fees, scattered families, and dreams deferred. Yet my parents never wavered. They understood something that perhaps we have forgotten, that our individual grievances pale in comparison to the collective good we serve.